Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this January 21st version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. You can find all of our content at our link tree. It's at eoa.network. That's what you type into the URL place, and it will take you directly to the link tree that shows you all of the places where you can get our content, including Spotify, where you can listen to this stuff as you're driving down the road. So here in just a little bit, we are going to have Union County Commissioner Matt Scarfo with us. How are you, man?
Good. Second Monday.
Second Monday.
Yeah.
Weather's
stressed
still
out, ready for the week.
Weather's still weird as can be.
It's a little colder.
Yeah, it is.
But it's still really dry.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. As long as we have the snowpack to make sure that we have water in the summertime, it can stay like this the whole year and just snow up there where it's supposed to snow.
Yeah, I think I need to talk to somebody who really knows. I can't.
Nick said the last time he was here that we have plenty of snow.
That we were at normal.
And he would know, I would think.
Yeah.
He seems to kind of have a grasp.
He would, but I don't.
Stuff.
There's no. I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of snow on Tollgate. Have you seen? I mean, I haven't been up there, but there's plenty of snow up there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people out doing their wintry type things like snowmobiling and.
Yep.
So I'm good. It can stay up there, right where it belongs. All it does is cause problems around down here. Like once it starts getting on the freeways, and it just makes it messy. I don't.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. Snow's dangerous. Like that's another reason why I don't like it. And I don't worry about like myself driving it. I worry about other people. Like I get, truckers, they get in a hurry, and that's what causes a lot of the problems on the freeways around here. Is like people are always in a hurry.
Yeah,
it's like, I'll just stay home.
Yeah. So the legislative session, I think, starts today or started yesterday.
We'll
talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk with
today.
Yeah, and so then, and I guess that anyhow, that's I don't know. That's not necessarily exciting to me. But the one thing I did hear is that the governor was asking for a fairly substantial increase in ODOT funds, which they probably need them, but they weren't cutting the budget any other place, and so they were looking to ultimately that. So I think that's a big part of the conversation that's happening.
I've kind of stayed off social media for outside of like work things.
Yeah.
For the last couple of days, just because I don't want to see all the stuff about politics. So
yeah.
I do know that Trump's already catching heat though for pardoning all the January 6th, even the ones that attacked cops. He's gonna catch flack from both sides for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't like that should never happen in my eyes.
Well, and I've always said forever that is like, if they broke the law.
Yeah, if you have like substantial like proof that these people like injured cops, because like over 100 law enforcement agents got hurt that day.
Yeah.
And if you have like proof, like video saying that somebody hurt a cop, they should not get pardoned ever.
Yeah.
I mean, just hurt anybody for that matter. Like there shouldn't. So he should catch flack from both sides for that.
Well, that was only one of. I mean, I think he signed 100.
He was busy man.
100 executive orders yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. At least a couple of my friends from the left, they had their Facebook post was just a black.
Like I said, I've tried to stay away from the monster like as much as possible.
There's everybody's unhappy. I mean, half of everybody is unhappy. So it's just how it is right now. Mm-hmm. So so last night, Oregon State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, excuse me, and Ohio State won. And I got these pictures from Jeremy Davis, who is the CEO of Grand Ronde Hospital, and he took his kids, Grayson and Declan, to that game. And Jeremy has known that I was he knows that I know that he's a huge Ohio State fan, and actually, at first he sent me a video. They had one of the local TV stations had a little clip of where they were talking to fans, and there was a little clip of him saying something. So anyhow,
I know that seats about 2 levels behind and up from him were $3,000 a piece. So I can't imagine how much those seats were where he was sitting. Like, I don't even want to try to think about it, because I saw a picture somebody posted and said these are $3,000 seats at the national championship game, and they were nowhere near as close as those.
Yeah.
So those were not cheap seats.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much it costs to go to those games.
Yeah. Well, that picture was then in the aisle, though. I don't know that it was them at their seats. But,
well, I mean, you don't go somewhere else and stand in the. I'm gonna make it look like
would.
I'm closer. Like, dude,
I would. Yeah.
I mean,
if I want to get the field in the thing, So.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Good.
Yeah, either way you cut it, though, it's what a great opportunity.
It's awesome.
For those kids. I mean, they'll never forget that. So,
I wish they would make those games a little more affordable for people, because I think it's really important to get kids involved at a young age. And the way you really keep kids engaged is do something memorable like that, because then they, maybe those kids from now on they fall in love with college football and they want to play for Ohio State one day. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but I have certainly noticed that the decline in kids participating in sports, especially around here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We've talked a little bit about it. I don't know much about the NIL thing, but that's going to change. That's going to change everything. I mean, it's like, I think it totally blurs the lines between amateur sports and pro sports.
Yep.
And it's like, man, I don't know where that goes. And you have universities that, like you have a school like EOU or a small school. How do you possibly keep up?
Well,
I mean, because
EOU won't have to worry about it in the sense that none of the NAIA teams are really going to get paid.
Okay, but I think you get my point. The point is that when you have a school that can raise millions of dollars to pay players, and that's essentially what it comes down to. They're paying players. Then how do you compete with that?
Well, Nick Saban said it the other day really, really well. He said that a team, paying with a payroll of $30 million against a team with a payroll of $3 million is not sustainable. So this isn't sustainable. It's not going to last like this. Something's going to have to change, or it'll fail.
Well, I had heard somewhere, and Matt might know some stuff about this too, but I had heard somewhere where Title IX was looking at the NIL part of it, that there were some problems that they had with it. But I didn't understand what that was.
I haven't seen anything about Title IX.
Yeah. Well, hey, want to do sports?
Let's do it.
All right.
Big one today. AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit and LeGrand. In the Veil of Eternity, players are tamers who hunt various monsters and spirits to tame them as minions. In this fantasy world, numerous creatures are living in harmony. Among them, dragons are the most valuable and noble ones. All tamers dream of taming dragons. The player who manages to tame the most outstanding minion wins at Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it. LHS boys basketball lost to Redmond at home on Saturday, 65-49. They host Vail tonight at 7 p.m. right up here at the high school gym. Get out there and support those guys. LHS girls hoops took the trip to Central Oregon this weekend. On Friday, they lost to Redmond 67-47, but Saturday was a bit of a different story. On Saturday they lost. Friday they won. My bad. So they trailed the entire game up until the very end of the fourth quarter. They tied it up, went into overtime, and ended up winning 73-68. Their only lead of the entire game was in overtime, and that's That's awesome because both these teams that these girls played were 5A teams, and LeGrand's needs the competition right now. That's why they kind of take these trips to Central Oregon, these long trips, because we don't have enough competition in Eastern Oregon for teams to prepare for the state level of competition, which is coming right up for these girls. They head to Stanfield today for a non-league game. It tips off at 5:30. And those photos are credited to Susie Coleman. Thank you, Susie. LHS Girls Wrestling brought home a second-place trophy from the Classic this weekend. They ultimately fell 46-36 to 5A Dallas in the championship match. But what a tournament for these ladies. So they finished top amongst 4A teams, which, I mean, I would imagine that LeGrand just runs the table at the state championship. They should have no problem repeating as state champions, and they look really good. Those photos are credit Scott Allen. LHS Boys Wrestling took third at the Oregon Classic, finishing behind Crook County and eventual champ Sweet Home. That's right about where where I thought they would be right now during the year. I mean I would have predicted right around third place in 4A. They look good. I would say that's probably about the same place that we're going to finish at state, which is not bad. I mean, a top 3 finish at state is not bad for this team. Those photos are credit Arlie Anderson. LeGrand High School Cheer and Dance went to West Lynn this weekend for a competition and brought back a first place trophy, which is awesome. This is a new team. You know what I mean? This is only year 2, I believe. And this is their first year competing, and they're already winning competitions. It's awesome. They finished ahead of both Pendleton and Baker. Those photos are credit Mary Nelson, as is this really cool video that we got from Mary of our very own Stu Spence at the competition in West Lynn. Check it out. Pretty cool. Stu's a huge supporter of all local sports. The LeGrand High School girls and boys swim teams were at the Madras White Buffalo Classic. You can check out our Facebook page for a list of placers. It's long, so I'm not going to read them all right here. Those photos are credited to Jessica Baum. EOU Men's Wrestling's Darian Hubery won the Evergreen State Open over the weekend in the heavyweight division. While on the ladies' side, the Mounties had 4 placers, including individual championships for Anna Rodriguez and Liv Weber. EOU Women's Hoops got 2 more conference wins over Warner Pack and Multnomah over the weekend. They're currently 8-4 in the CCC and 12-5 overall and sit in 4th place in the conference. The men's hoops team won both of their games this weekend as well against Warner Pack and Multnomah, which was awesome. That was, and let me add, that was the last time Multnomah will ever play in Quinn, because Multnomah is shutting down at the end of this school year, so they got bought out by William Jessup. They're only going to continue the master's programs there, so there will be no more Multnomah athletics. The men are currently 8-4 in the CCC as well. They're 13-5 overall, and they're in 4th place as well. Both teams head down south this weekend to take on Southern and OIT. For his efforts in winning the Evergreen State Open this weekend, EOU senior heavyweight wrestler Darian Hubery was named the CCC Wrestler of the Week. And then senior Garrett Hawks from the men's basketball team was the Offensive Player of the Week for the CCC. And that's funny because on Friday, I scheduled an interview for today with him. And then he goes off this weekend. So I posted on social media like, hey, you must have known that you were going to be on EO Live Sports, so you had to show up and show out this weekend. Yeah, so he'll be on the next sports show, which will come out in the next couple days. And Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you, man. All right. Well, let's look outside the weather cam. It's chilly this morning.
Clear.
Yeah.
Pretty clear.
A little bit of snow out there. Yeah. And let's look at the weather graphic. So down to 18 tonight.
Burr.
Yeah. And kind of looks like that is what it's like for the next couple of days. That same thing. Pretty dry. Not much moisture at all. So looks like this is kind of what we're looking at.
That's manageable.
Yeah. So, all righty. Well, hey, we will be right back with Union County Commissioner Matt Scarfo. All right, we are back with Union County Commissioner Matt Scarfo.
Good morning.
How are you, man?
I'm well. How are you?
Morning.
I'm good. Yeah. You know, the minute you walk in the door, it's like the conversation, and it's not just you. It's like it just buzzes. Yeah.
Oh,
90 miles an hour. It's great.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I always ask you, it's like, what are we going to talk about? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever comes up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And comfortably, I mean, you know, not all guests are comfortable with that, but I know you are, you know.
Great.
And yeah, because it's like whatever, you know. And we've been talking about everything but county commissioner stuff, and which is fine, you know. So, yeah. Well, let's go back to some of the sports stuff that we talked about beforehand.
Okay.
What do you think of the NIL stuff? And
So,
yeah,
just
give us your shots. Yeah.
The NIL, is that they're going to start paying?
Yeah.
No,
college
they
pla-
already are paying. Yeah.
Oh, they are paying.
Oh, yeah.
What are the?
College
I don't
kids.
even know how much are they getting paid.
I mean, the NIL deal that, like, say, let's talk like Manning, Arch Manning.
Mm-hmm.
His deal was $3 million this year. Yeah.
Holy moly!
So the school
Is it only D1?
guarantees. No, it's all you can get paid all NCAA division levels.
Okay, just not NAIA.
No, you can.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can?
There's NIL all the way across, but the NAIA, there's no. I mean, there has to be a reason for a business to put up money. You know what I mean, like advertising wise. So the NAIA hasn't really got into it much, but like D1, yeah, there's people making. I mean, they're going to pay $10 million for a quarterback, you know, and that's the school saying, okay, if you come here, we'll guarantee you $10 million in NIL over the next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they still going to school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They
I know these are all. This
Like,
is, I mean,
like
I'm
why
trying to-
why would I go to school and
Right,
get
I'm
paid
trying to catch up
$10
on all
million?
this too, yeah.
Why do I need a degree when I just got $10 million to play football?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Well, and I don't. Do they still have to pass?
Yeah.
Do they still have to be in school? I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
They still have
okay.
to do all that. It's just like before, but they're getting paid. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I heard too they're allowed to sell jersey. I mean, they get
They get they get the money from, the Reggie Bush thing, right? He was taking money on the side. He lost his Heisman over that. He wouldn't lose his Heisman today.
Wow.
Which is why they gave him the Heisman back. You know what I mean?
Well, my take is, money's going to talk.
Yeah.
And you're going to, you could buy yourself the World Series.
It already has. Yeah, look at the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it already has. I mean, those kids, if you look at, Colorado, for instance, right? Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy winner. Or here's even better. Genty at Boise State, the runner-up for the Heisman. He doesn't stay at Boise State if they don't give him a fat NIL deal. I heard he got $300,000, which at Boise State, that's huge.
Well, 300,000 is huge for
$300,000 to stay at Boise State. So,
Well, yeah. Otherwise, these guys are just going to go get drafted.
or they're going to run to it's like I said. Saban said it best. $3 million schools versus $30 million schools is not sustainable. They're not going to be able to keep this up forever because it makes the playing field way too lopsided.
Yeah, I wonder how it's going to look down the road. How many years have they been doing this?
I want to say this is year 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so looking at the college playoffs that we just came through, how did it affect that, Kyle? You have a
Well, I mean, obviously the big ticket schools, like Notre Dame, Oregon, all the big schools like that, they're all paying. I'm not going to say every player on the team is getting money NIL, but almost all of them. In like some schools' cases, like Colorado, you have Travis Hunter getting, $6 or $5 million or whatever he got this year, and he takes some of that and branches it out to his teammates. So that's the other popular thing is some guys are, really high up on the list. Arch Manning, Peyton Manning's nephew, is way up there. He's making a lot of money. And what they'll do is they'll take some of their NIL money and cut it off for some of the other players.
That's pretty cool.
These big schools like Ohio State, they have boosters that are endless, right? So they have an endless supply of money. It's like, okay, if you want to go get North Carolina is a really good example. They just hired Belichick. How does North Carolina football hire Belichick? Well, they have a lot of money. That's how. And now they're going to bring in Belichick and $10 million gets them the best quarterback in the country. You know what I mean? Like, easily. And that's just how it's going to work.
I'd like to see these colleges' budgets.
Oh,
Like,
you
what-
don't want to see these
What are they,
colleges.
$1 billion?
Yeah, it's crazy how much they spend on even little schools like Boise State. Their budget for football is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the county budget, it's only like $65 million. So, the football budgets are probably...
It's probably better than that.
Oh,
Yeah, most of them.
100%.
Most of them.
Wow. No, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like it. I think it's going to ruin college football if they don't get it figured out real fast.
well, and I
Real
don't,
fast.
and I wonder how the NFL feels about it too, because if you're starting to pay players that were amateurs, they're getting paid earlier. They're going to expect more. I mean, it just upsets the whole.
I mean, give an 18-year-old $10 million.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you look at it like this, if you're using, say the Reggie Bush is the perfect example. His USC days. He was the best football player in the world. One of the best college football players ever. College. Okay, USC was making like millions of dollars off of that number 5 jersey, right? That USC
Right.
number 5. Every kid wanted that jersey. Why shouldn't he get a little bit of that? I mean, it's him. You know what I mean? Like, how do you justify
they're
taking
exploiting him.
all that money
Yeah.
and not giving him a chunk of it? And this is what they decided on to make that fair, but they didn't. They haven't figured out how to really mold it to make it fair for teams against other teams. You know what I mean? They don't have it figured out quite yet. It's kind of like the old argument, well, these players are risking their bodies, which I agree with. Like, you're risking your bodies to go make millions of dollars for this school, right? Especially at the highest level in the Power Fives. you should get some sort of compensation. What happens if you get hurt out there and you can never play football again? You ain't making a penny off of it, and that school made $20 million off of just you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that happens a lot, especially in
A
football.
lot.
When
A
you're
lot
like, oh,
more
this
than
guy
people
is going
understand.
to, yeah, and then some rotator cuff or something,
Yeah,
and they're
but
they're
see,
done.
I think that's part of the school making money is part of the problem. So then now allowing the players to make money, I think, just makes it worse.
Yeah, but without money, none of it happens anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't doing it just to play football.
No, I mean, I understand that the motivation behind the NIL. It's just like it seems like it's jumped out of the frying pan and right into.
They're gonna have to figure. I hate to liken it to like the whole like drug bill here in Oregon. You know, like I think they put the carriage before the horse, and then same thing with the whole 6 years of eligibility. Like it's crazy that they're gonna
Wait,
let
6
kids,
years now?
Yeah, you can go to junior college for 2 years and you don't lose any of your NCAA eligibility. So you can go 2 and you can go 4.
So I still have 2 years.
Yeah. No, not NCAA. You're past your timeline.
What?
Yeah, it has to, but yeah.
I thought you just told me I could go try for the
go
baseball
for 2
team.
years, and then you can go 4 years of 4-year school. And
You just got me excited.
I'm
Because
assuming that they're probably going to fix that within the next year, because they definitely put the horse before the carriage, or the carriage before the horse. There, who knows what they're going to do? But
you had me all excited.
Yeah, so you can play for 6 years now.
Yeah, because I went to 2 years of junior college. And
Upheld by the Supreme Court too.
Oh. Wow, so you literally could be 20, what, 18, yeah, 20, 26, 25, yeah, who knows?
There's guys, because of COVID, there's
yeah.
guys, there's a dude in NCAA right now, football, that this is his 9th year.
Ninth year.
9th year.
Married has 3 kids.
Yeah, he's like 40.
Good for him, man.
He's already had a prostate exam.
I missed my time. I'd have been awesome to play for 9 years.
Right?
And get paid.
Yeah. And get paid on top of it. Yeah.
No, I get the jersey thing for sure. Because these people are making millions and millions of dollars off this guy that literally can break his knee at any time and he's done and sees nothing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
But
I
I
think
don't
they
know.
just have to find that sweet spot where it's fair and we're still compensating these kids for putting their bodies on the line and for letting, the NCAA exploit their names, because that's essentially what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, they ain't going out there and buying that number 5 jersey because they like the number 5. They're buying that 5 jersey because Reggie Bush is the best college football player in the country.
When you're looking at the NCAA, I mean, that's $1 billion, $1 trillion.
Oh, so much money.
Yeah. Can you
spewing that out? Yeah.
How about the hot dogs? $5 instead of 15.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
Because we're the ones that are paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem I have, is that the motivation. So, I mean, the only motivation to spread eligibility to 6 years is because then, I don't know, at the end of the day, those kinds of things turn into money. That it turns into an opportunity for the NCAA to make more money.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the NC. That was not the school's idea. That was a player. That was a guy that said, you know what I mean? Like he took it to the Supreme Court saying that he should get 4 years of NCAA eligibility, even though he's played 2 years at junior college, because it's a different level. And the NCAA, actually, I think the NCAA might have been against it.
I'll tell you, my junior college baseball was a pretty good. I mean, it was almost D1 level.
Yeah, me too. I played at Riverside for a year, and we played D1 schools in the fall.
Yeah, we played at ASU and Grand Canyon and
UNLV, USC. Good baseball down there. But the other thing is though, like how do you not like these? So you got these JUCOs, right? They're going to recruit kids. What kids are not going to go to JUCO? Nobody. They're all going to go to JUCO now. So what are they? You know what I mean? Like it's going to be weird if it upholds. I don't think it'll sustain. I think they're going to have to change it and do some tweaking, because there's no way that they can let kids play 2 years and then 4 years. No way. It's going to get really messy.
Well, I learned a lot. If I had 2 more years, just maturity level, I mean, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Just growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you play up here at EOU?
I got here in 95, so 95, 96, 96, 97.
My junior and senior year in high school. We had the same coach at the time.
Yeah.
Matt coached me in
Wes.
the summer and him in the spring.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's shift to county stuff.
Oh, you
Yeah.
want to talk about that?
Well, I don't know. We'll get there eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so like you guys said, the session's up and going.
Yeah, so do you know any give us the
Thousands.
inside scoop? What are the issues?
Yeah, I can't go without saying fairgrounds.
I was going to say, first thing on the agenda.
Number one thing for the last 6 years of my life is fairgrounds. So House Bill 2527, Representative Levy's putting that forward. We have a few other legislators that have signed on to it as well.
And what is
Is
that
that
bill?
is that the what is 2527?
House Bill 2527 is the $2.5 million needed to finish the wastewater project at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
So it's Union County's own bill.
They should have named that like "No More Honey Buckets" or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, anyway, legislators are signing on. I'm going to try to get as many as I can and keep pushing. I'll be going to the Oregon Fair Association meetings next week at the 3rd. And then I'll be going back over for AOC, to Salem it is when I say go back over. Salem for AOC, I'm trying to do like a couple birds, one stone. When I go over there, I'll be able to meet with legislators, get to vote on lobbying topics for AOC, and meet with everybody that I need to meet with to get us this money finally.
Yeah.
We should have had it last year, but a deal was made at the end and cut us out.
So
It was
then
really sad.
this is just a different route to get there. This is more
It's the same route I've been taking.
right. But you were hoping that like the emergency funds or there would be funds someplace in the state and they would cover this.
So they have e-board meetings random, like quarterly throughout
Yeah,
the year.
right.
And I was going to hopefully bring it up as an e-board topic
Okay.
and get funded that way. But
board is
emergency board.
Okay.
And they have a group, they kind of touch up on the budget and where we at, just in
Okay.
case there's an emergency that pops up.
Right.
Well, as you know, this summer we had a lot of forest fires again.
Right. Yeah.
So I did not want to go in while people are literally losing their homes, their fields, their livestock,
right.
and be like,
Hey,
hey,
by the way."
by the way, can we get some indoor plumbing?
Right,
So not a good time to be messing with the e-board at that time. So waited for legislation. I've also put in there's some other water sewer grants that I put in for, just waiting on that through legislation as well. So
But you can tie forest fires into it because
100%.
that's a place where people go, right? That's a place where we'll stage people or whatever during.
if we would have had a forest fire here and I'd have been like, hey, we need this now,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
But-
okay.
I just felt that I didn't want to go
Yeah,
bugging
right.
everybody when they were like, hey,
Yeah,
FEMA's coming
so
in because
state-
people just lost their house and their.
right.
So I'll be going to Salem quite a bit and got to get this funding. I already have Oregon Department of Emergency Management, Oregon Department of Human Services. They're going to write letters of support, and I have other county commissioners that are literally going to write letters of support from other counties. So you really don't ever, usually
Right.
everyone just fights for like, hey, we're trying to get our own
Right,
capital
right,
construction ass. I actually have other county commissioners across the state that are like, Matt, I'm going to help you get this.
Yeah. It's like
Nice.
the squeaky wheel. Like we're tired of hearing from you.
Yeah, that's a lot of it as well. But when people are saying,
Right,
how
no.
has this not been funded?
Right. Yeah.
And I always go back to the wants and needs and legislation. I've been telling them now for a couple of years. Everybody wants a sports complex. Everybody wants indoor facilities. I go, do you really need a sports complex?
No.
I mean, maybe weather permitting, maybe, but we need indoor plumbing.
Right. Yeah.
We just don't want indoor plumbing. We need indoor plumbing.
Right. Yeah.
But when I see a lot of wants getting funded over
Yeah. No,
needs,
that would
it
aggravate me.
gets frustrating.
Yeah, yeah.
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
So,
Very.
we'll see. There's a few other bills for fairgrounds too. I can't name them off the top of my head. I'll get them memorized here.
Yeah.
To get me into the groove, man, there's, I don't know, 3,000 bills again.
Yeah.
And
Now, is this a short session?
no, this is the regular session.
This is the regular
Yeah,
session.
this will go through, I mean, they could put the gavel down whenever.
Yeah.
But usually May, June,
Okay.
Wow.
depending on what's the hot topics and if they need to go all the way through session. But,
Wow.
yep.
Okay. So now let's talk. You beforehand. Let's talk about Greyhound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's new news, not
So
good news.
like I said, I don't know all the exact details, but it sounds like we're going to be here in Union County. We're not going to have a stop for Greyhound, which we were just talking to Kyle about. What was it called? Not Amtrak.
Amtrak, yeah,
Amtrak.
we
I remember
lost that at least 10 years ago.
Oh, it had to be more than that.
Maybe
I was here in 95, 96. I think we lost it maybe 98 or 99. I don't remember. But having a way that people that do not own vehicles or, I mean, to get to their appointments in
Yeah.
Boise or Walla, I mean,
Right.
it's a thing. And I hear it's just not in Union County. Representative Levy said something about that the state may be losing Greyhound. I don't know if someone's going to try to come in, but that gets a little. Transportation is huge. Well, our transportation I know is going to pick up some of the slack here in Community Connections,
Yeah.
and Patrick Heeman would be a great one to have on here. He runs that here locally, but we do need to get our constituents here in Union County out of our county sometimes to
Right.
go to either doctor's appointments or just to see family and friends. Or when you're stuck, you just can't ride your bike over to
Right.
Boise
Right.
Yeah.
or just, I mean, are we going to get hitchhikers again? I don't know. It's a concern.
Yeah. No. And that is. Yeah. I'm still. Yeah. I'm from the campaign days. I'm still like thinking. Well, we really need to continue working on the airport. You know, and that's going the wrong direction. I mean, if you don't have basic bus transportation, yeah. So.
So I don't know legislatively if what they're going to do, but
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do. It's, private company. I don't know why they're stopping routes. I mean, I'd probably just say it's money. Everything seems to be
Yeah, probably
money.
not busy enough, I would imagine. I mean, you have these private companies now that get paid insurance to take people to doctors, a lot of them, like, I don't know the names of them off the top of the head, but a lot of people, low-income people, the Medicare or Medicaid will pay medical transport, right? And so you have these private companies that have drivers that'll pick people up. So that's probably taken away some of Greyhound's business. But then again, like, I think inflation too. Like, people can't afford to buy a dang bus to get right now. Like, probably not on the top of their list to go to Boise for the weekend if they're in a position where they, like, they don't have a car. They're probably more worried about other things than driving to, going to Boise, I would imagine.
I don't know if it's Uber or Lyft. I don't know if they're
Could have something
more
to
in the
do with
metro
it.
areas, but here in rural, we need.
Right.
I took Greyhound one time back in college from Boise to here.
Yeah.
Oh, it took 6 hours.
Did it? I took it just for people watching purposes from here to LA. I mean, it was awesome, man. Got a flat tire in Burley, Idaho.
The Greyhound
On that
did?
trip. Yep.
Oh my.
And in Burley, Idaho, the Greyhound station is a woman's house. So the only place you could sit, because you couldn't be on the bus, was you had to go into this old lady's house if you wanted to sit. She made coffee and
That's funny.
Yeah, Burley, Idaho at the time, the bus station was a lady's house. Yes.
So we're coming back from Boise, the Greyhound, and yeah, it's a good people watch.
Yes,
for
it
sure,
is.
for
It's
sure.
the
And then
best.
there's like a stop every 30 miles, it seems like. And I'm like, man, just get me home. Well, the dinner stop is in Baker for it was like an hour and a half. I'm like please,
You're like, come on,
almost
man.
home.
please, just I'll buy everyone dinner in LeGrand.
Just to get us home.
Just get me home.
That's funny.
That was a long way. So I don't know. It's definitely a concern.
Yeah.
Actually, I will be talking with Patrick Heeman. I got to go to Baker here after this for our Community Connections meeting, and we're going to be carpooling over.
Yeah.
And I'll chat with him some more. But yeah, definitely a concern here in
Yeah.
Union County.
So Jake got sworn in.
Hey, yes, Commissioner
Yeah.
Seaver. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's that onboarding going on? He's going to be on the show some point?
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait to see his first time on here. Yeah, he went to county college last week, which is a fantastic program that Association of Oregon Counties puts on. It kind of just teaches you the ins and outs of being a county commissioner.
Wow.
And so once a month for a couple days, he has to go to Salem or Corvallis or Portland, and they go through all right, this is behavioral health, this is public works, this is law enforcement, this is, everything. You learn a lot. And the one thing that, when I went to county college, was the interactions with the other commissioners.
Right.
Because you're all brand new.
Right.
I mean, some of them, like, hey, I got back in the game, or some of them, were like, I was already at the House rep and now I'm doing the county commissioner thing. But every level, and you get people that are just like, no, I was a dog groomer before this and I got elected, and it's like, oh, okay. And it was, I mean, literally every walk of life gets elected.
Yeah.
So, and you meet these people, and with our class that we had back 6-7 years ago, we're pretty tight knit. We're close, and we call each other, and
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that. I don't know that I've ever asked you. Tell me a little bit about how you went from being a baseball player to a bar owner to a county commissioner. I mean, how did...
Can I say I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, how did that... I mean, that's a journey, man.
Yeah, well, the baseball... I was in the restaurant industry before coming to LeGrand.
Okay.
So I knew the ins and outs of, I first worked at a Chinese restaurant in Phoenix, and then a Hawaiian barbecue place. Then I went to a French, worked in a French restaurant where I had to wear a tuxedo. And then I got into catering a lot, and then went to college. I still worked all the catering and whenever I could. And then I moved up here, and I said, I'm out of the restaurant business. I'm done. That's why I'm going to college. I'm going to go, be a businessman, or I don't know what I was going to work the corporate ladder, and then I had some roommates in college that were cocktail waitressing for Patty at Benchwarmers. Mm-hmm. And they came home one time and they said, "Hey, Matt, you used to work in the restaurant industry?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Patty really could use somebody on Saturdays." I was like, "Oh, jeez. Well, I could use some beer money." Yeah. Like, as long as it's just Saturdays. And so I started bartending Saturday days for her. Saturday days. And I go in there, and it was always college football on. I had a pretty good crowd and got used to it. And Patty's like, "Man, you know what you're doing." I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing this since I was, 15 and a half." And she's like, "You want some more shifts?" I'm like, "I'll fill in here and there, here and there." Well, all of a sudden, she's like, then I graduated in 1998 with a business degree and specialized in marketing and all that, and I knew how to run a computer and Excel spreadsheets, and so she's like, "Matt, can you do my books for me?" So I started doing her books, and then next thing you know, I'm taking on more shifts. I was working Tuesday through Saturday night, bartending at night, and doing her books during the day, and next thing you know, I'm making money and working 50, 60 hours a week. I was like, man, I got sucked back in somehow. I go, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but at least my degree was being used, and then I met Kevin Loveland. We all know Kevin, and at the time he was president of the chamber, and him and I are been best friends since dang near since we both got here.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you're going to be a business owner in this town, you need to give back. You need to get on these boards. You just need to give back to your community, which he does amazingly.
Right.
Like, he is the poster child for giving back to his community.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what, Kevin? Yeah, so I kind of followed in his footsteps, got on LeGrand Main Street, got on the chamber board, started being on all these volunteer stuff. And yes, I'm giving back, but also it gave me a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're a business owner out there, you need to look into getting on Main Street or Chamber or any of these things that help out, because it really does make a difference.
Absolutely.
Because volunteerism is way down.
Right.
Really is done. I feel that every business owner in Union County at one point should be on the chamber.
Right.
Or even try to be chamber president. And so I was chamber president, LeGrand Main Street president, and was doing all that stuff. And it was the Mark Davidson election when Donna got in.
Right.
People were like, "Hey Matt, you ever thought about doing this?" And I'm like, "No." Never once have I thought about getting into politics and doing. And they're like, "You'd be great." And I was like, I don't even know what it does. Well, my son was born right then, and I told everybody, "Hey, I need to get out. I need to get out of Main Street Chamber." And I said, I want to spend time with my son, especially at that younger age.
Right. Yeah.
I said when he gets up 4 or 5 and he starts getting into school, I'll come back. Don't worry, I'll come back. And so 4 or 5 years, and then another election came around, and same people came knocking. I'm like, all right, I'll take a look. And went around, I talked to a lot of influential people, and they said, "Man, you'd be fantastic." I said, "Fantastic at what? Can someone please tell me what this is?" And literally, I did not know that being in the community and being in Union County and knowing the ins and outs, and then you get to meet a ton of people being on the chamber boards, Main Street boards, going to the banquets, and that I was kind of grooming myself for this position.
Right.
And I remember I asked, I think it was like 12 people whether I should run or not, and they all said yeah. And then the 13th person, unlucky 13, was my wife. I said all right, because at that point Luke was 4 or 5, he was preschool, and we didn't need to be home because my wife's a nurse, and I said, all right, you're the last person I'm asking, yay or nay. And I really thought she'd do the normal wife thing. Hey, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
No, she literally said, "I think you need to do this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I ran, still not knowing what the heck I was getting into. I still remember we brought this up at our work session last week about one of our first meetings. JB Brock was our emergency manager at the time, and came in and just like scared the poop out of us. Just did here's the scenario. There's going to be an outbreak. You only have enough vaccines for 25% of the population. Who do you give them to? And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. Totally scared I don't want to be a part of this. And then guess what happened the next year? COVID hits. And I'm like, we're in it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And public health is in your domain. Yeah.
So we're talking at the work session last week, and Jake's there, and I was like, when's Nick going to come in and give him the scare the crap out of his speech?
Yeah.
But no, so that was it.
Wow.
Sorry if I droned on a little bit there.
No. I mean, I think it's a cool story. And
I still have the restaurants.
Yeah, and that.
If you want to buy them, let me know.
Haven't they been for sale since the day you bought them?
Yeah, everything's for sale except for my son.
Except for your son.
Everything's for sale except for my son. Everyone's like, "How about your wife?" I'm like, "I don't own my wife. She could put her own price tag on it." But speaking of my son, so I almost didn't make it this morning.
Yeah.
Woke up and he wasn't feeling too
Yeah,
hot.
Kyle, they didn't hear anything about that story. So.
No. Yeah, I texted him at 6 something this morning, and Luke was not doing too hot.
Is he feeling better now?
Lynn she actually took a U-turn on Poverty Flats.
Oh, she came back?
Yep. Yeah.
She saved
I'm like,
the day.
I am not missing
This
the Brent Clapp show.
This is opportunity.
I'm not missing this show.
You did not say that.
Lynn being a nurse and having a sick kid at home.
Yeah.
And a mom.
Yeah, and a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like she doesn't think I, can take care of. I mean, I'm still like, what's the dosage on the ibuprofen? I don't know.
Yeah. Where's Poverty Flats at? Where do you live at?
Right before Cabbage.
Oh.
It's on 84.
Okay.
Does she work in Pendleton?
Mm-hmm. She works Pendleton in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was
Yeah,
trying
the Poverty Flats turn off right before you get on.
Is she pediatrics?
No, she's OB.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. And she does lactation consultant and car seat
You've said that on
technician.
here before.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
So, are you guys going to miss Donna? I mean, I know that's a stupid question, but maybe put it like, what's the plan on filling some of those gaps that she's kind of picked up?
So during our work session last week, we always every year we have a liaison list.
Right.
And we always tweak it, move it around. And it worked out great. Jake fits her liaisons very, very well.
Okay.
Through economic development, natural resources, her water.
Yeah.
And no, we miss Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And picking up, this is my first time having a new, it's been us three since I've been a commissioner.
Right.
For 7 years now. So this is going to be different for me also.
Right.
Having to see how Jake,
Operates.
that does meetings and
Yeah.
and his views, and everyone has a different way of looking at stuff.
Right. So have you all of your responsibilities the same? Have you adjusted
We
anything?
had just tweaked a few of them. I took on Buffalo Peak,
Okay.
and for the most part, there's mine are about the same. Yeah, we really didn't tweak too much. It'd be difficult if I were like CHD.
Yeah.
Me being in there for 7 years.
Right,
If
yeah.
I was and said, "Hey, Jake,
Right.
you got this," and then CHD's going, we gotta train the new guy and
Right.
get him back up to speed. I mean, they're still at CHD. They're still training me.
Yeah.
Behavioral health, and I mean that wasn't my wheelhouse.
Right.
Getting into this.
Yeah.
And public safety, and I was like, I don't know anything about this, but now I do.
Right. So, and you are a golfer.
Yes.
So that's good. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
and Dana and I, we
Yeah.
go.
So we've been trying to get an EO Alive camera out at Buffalo Peak forever. So
What's
be sure-
the hang up?
Well, I don't know. You have to talk to Dana about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because and it would be collaborative, so we would cover all of the streaming stuff. You guys would help with the upfront installation costs and so on and so forth. But it would be on our stuff. It would be branded as the Buffalo Peak Cam,
Oh.
and it gives people the opportunity to
A weather
hey, we
cam,
want to stop through there. Yeah. So it's,
A weather cam.
it's kind of like, it's kind of like
the one you have here.
yeah. So
No,
anyhow,
that'd be great.
no.
Let me, throw me some costs and let me see. What we
Yeah,
can do.
no, because I think it's kind of the goal, one of the goals when we talked about EO Alive was having these weather cams in different places. Have one in, downtown Baker City, and one in Elgin, and one in Wallowa counties. Just so that people can go and like, oh,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And Buffalo Peak's so beautiful out there.
No, and if you go to, I didn't know this until Dana and I spent time, but if you go to any major golf course, many of them have some kind of a weather cam, so that you can like tune in. It's like, oh, hey, let's stop by there today, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So
That's a great idea. I'm going to look at the cart paths. Are
Right,
in
and we-
rough shape out there.
Yeah,
he
we
was
just
here.
had Dana on.
Yeah, he was just
oh,
here
was he?
a couple
Okay.
weeks ago. Yeah.
We
Good,
talked
good.
about cart paths. Yep.
Yeah, so I think we have, we're going to put some last of our ARPA funds towards that. Because if it's bumpy out there, because we need more people out there playing.
Yeah.
And if it's like, man, it's knocking my teeth out of my head to play a
it's-
golf
it's
course.
pretty
Well, and
bad
I,
in some spots.
And I mentioned this to him that it's just the path from the parking lot to the clubhouse that is awful. It just needs to be, which is like, for me, it would be low hanging fruit. Because anyhow, but one of the questions I had was, and I asked Dana, he didn't know, is like, well, couldn't you work something out with Public Works to help, fill some of those gaps, do county, and I know that Buffalo Peak is not set up, it's not set up in the county the way that other departments are, but
Well, every department is its own,
right,
even though it is under the county umbrella. So even like our weeds, you'd think that, a county's got a weed department that they just go out and handle all the weeds at Buffalo Peak. No, there's still,
right,
there still has to be communication and
right,
Yeah.
but
out of
like
each other's budget.
But like the weed people can work with Public Works though. Do they
Correct.
spray? Yeah, so anyhow.
It's almost like, you got a contract, but
Oh,
still
I
under
say
the
yeah,
old,
because right. And I know the city of LeGrand does that too. So so you still have to, if the Parks Department, if Stu is, some of his employees are going to go mow a piece of grass that is not in his realm, okay, but it maybe is a different, I don't know. Every department has to account for the man hours and the equipment, and some of them can't even take money in. some of them can't be paid. They can only spend money, you know.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
But I gotta get the baker.
Oh, are we on?
Yeah, time flies when we're on
good.
this
Yeah.
show.
It's 8:55. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right. Well,
You in a hurry?
No. Let's keep it.
well, I think we're.
I'm always in a hurry.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
can you think of anything else burning that we need to talk about before we quit?
I got so much on that set of the session, but yeah, House Bill 2527.
That's right.
That's my We're gonna get these
Which-
toilets working at the
Okay.
fairgrounds.
Yeah, and
I'm working on getting the carnival back at the fairgrounds, but they can't come during the time of our fair. That's our only issue. So I don't know if we could tweak.
Can we move the fair?
I don't know. It's been that way for 100 years, so it's kind of hard.
But yeah. So
Are we going to do it for a carnival? We'll have to find out.
because the carnival did come this last summer, right? They
But you had a different time.
right,
Yes.
and it seemed like there was very little promotion for it when they did come because nobody knew about it until So this hopefully some coordination.
So I'll get with our fair board and with the carnival company, and hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But no, I have a whole bunch of other stuff, but I really
Okay.
I got a community connections meeting in Baker City.
All right. Well, Matt, thank you.
I appreciate it. you guys.
Yeah.
Let's get us out of here. On this day, January 21st, 1677, the first medical publication in America, a pamphlet on smallpox, is published in Boston. On this day, 1958, St. Louis Hawks forward Bob Pettit becomes the first member of a losing team to win the NBA All-Star Game MVP. 1977, on this day, U.S. President Jimmy Carter pardons almost all of the Vietnam War draft evaders. 1999, on this day, one of the biggest drug busts in American history. The U.S. Coast Guard intercepts a ship carrying 4,300 kilograms of cocaine. 2021, on this day, Avril Haines is sworn in as the first female U.S. Director of National Intelligence by Vice President Harris. And 2024, on this day, Tara Vanderveer becomes the winningest college basketball coach with 1,203 victories as Stanford beats Oregon State 65-56. The number one movie in America on this day in 1985, Beverly Hills Cop. And the quote of the day comes from Anne Sweeney. Define success on your own terms. Achieve it by your own rules and build a life you're proud to live. One more time. Define success on your own terms. Achieve it by your own rules and build a life you're proud to live.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Matt.
man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we will be back on Thursday.
See you Thursday. Thank you.